I want to talk about a valuable lesson I learned recently. I wanted to learn how to be grateful. I was really thinking about that, and oftentimes we only are grateful when we can look at somebody else's situation who's kind of less fortunate than we are, and we can say, hey, I'm in a pretty good situation. But that always bothered me. And the reason why it always bothered me is because when I'm in a situation where I can see someone who's better off than I am, then I feel a little bit less fortunate. And I said, well, every time I'd ask someone about being grateful, that was what they told me. Well, it could always be better. There's somebody else who's doing better off than you. And I was like, well, I don't like comparing myself. Why do I have to compare myself to be grateful? And someone said when you ask for something you truly want it has a way of showing up. And about 7 days later, I was taking my wife to a birthday party, and we celebrated her birthday. And after we came home, about 5 minutes away from my house, I stopped at a red light, and this guy walks over, he had a cup in his hand. And I was like, well, I'm not really comfortable with giving money. But I rolled down my window. I'm kind of analyzing him. He wasn't drinking, he wasn't on drugs, he was very clean, shaved, and he said, hey, I'm not on drugs or anything, I'm a homeless vet. And I really just need some help. I'm trying to get out of this situation. I know God has me. I know He's going to help me, but I really just need some help. And I reached in my pocket and I gave him a few dollars. And he said, man, I really, really appreciate this. He said, I really appreciate it because you gave it from your heart, and it means a lot. It's not fun being out here, have a family, but I really, really appreciate it. And as he's walking away, my wife, with the infinite wisdom that she has, she looks over to me and she says, what did you give him? I gave him a few dollars. She said, wow. It was as if you gave him, and she states a dollar amount, which is considerably larger than what I gave him. Well, that dollar amount happened to be in my pocket. And for whatever strange reason, I just felt compelled to give it to him. So I pull over and I beat the horn. And I didn't state the dollar amount because it's not about me. Called him back over and I took it out and I put it in his cup. He looked at it. He looked at me. He looked at it. He looked at me and said, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm like, okay. But as I drove off, he's waving his hand. He says, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And it was just absolutely amazing because I'm like, wow, what a great story he has to tell about maybe losing all hope and someone coming around and giving him a hand that he just wasn't expecting, that God hadn't forgot about him. And then I realized, wait a second, I wanted to learn gratitude. I wanted to learn how to be grateful. And I recognized from that message, his name was Joe, by the way. The message that I got from that was those who are grateful for what they've been given, when I gave him the few dollars that I gave him, get more. And that was a true testament to that. I had heard that before. Your attitude of gratitude gets more, things of that nature, but I'd never really seen it in person. Well, fast forward with me a few hours. I'm laying down and I'm getting ready to go to sleep, but I couldn't get this guy off my mind. I wanted to understand, why was he so grateful with the little bit that I gave him, and just as grateful with the much I gave him. So I put my mind to it. And I realized something that no one was ever to really explain. That you don't have to be grateful simply by comparing yourself to someone else. Because when you do that, of course, you only look good when they look bad. Or if you find yourself in a situation with someone else who's better off than you, then you look bad and you feel worse. And what I got from it was You can be grateful simply by recognizing that someone did something for you. That what they were doing for you was actually speaking to you. And they were telling you, and I started to think about all the things that people had done for me. What they're doing for you is telling you that you are valuable, you are important, and you are worthy. I mean, when someone opens the door for you, we automatically say, thank you. And I never really thought about what was happening. We often hear actions speak louder than words. And the actions of people that I were reminiscing on began to speak to me. I did this not because you needed me to, not because you were in need, not because you wanted something, and even if you were, it didn't matter. I did this because you are valuable, you are worthy, and you are important. And when you show gratitude, you are acknowledging your own value, your own worth, and your own importance. And when I saw that, I immediately, my mind was expanded, and I began to say, thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for just every little thing that I've had, both good and bad, because even in the bad times, there's a lesson to be learned that can propel me for something greater. And it was just an awesome feeling to see gratitude being displayed right in front of me, to see my answer come to me after a week of asking. I just want to learn to be grateful. And when I was grateful for what he had given me, through displaying to me that when you are grateful for what you've been given, you get more. I got the message of what he gave me, and I was grateful for it. But then I was given more through understanding that when someone does for you, they are telling you that you are valuable, you are worthy, and you are important. And when you show gratitude, you are acknowledging your own value, your own worth, and your own importance.